Hey everybody, this is Gokaiger Spartan, and I'm about to review my favorite Sentai of all time. Oh yes, Kazoku Sentai Gokaiger! Oh my goodness, I love this Sentai. It is literally the perfect Sentai product, the perfect Power Ranger product. They could not replicate their magic if they tried, and they tried countless times to replicate the magic of Gokaiger. And I'm not gonna knock the newer seasons like Gokaiger and number one Sentai. They're good, they're great, but they're not. I mean, number one Sentai, that Red Ranger is beastly. I ain't gonna hold you. He might give Captain Marvelous a run for his money. However, nothing will ever beat that impact in just the unadulterated swagger that Captain Marvelous had. He had the swagger of a black youth. He had the swagger of a man that just knew his own worth, bro. He aura formed constantly. Him, Joe, and Luca, all three of them were just aura forming constantly throughout the whole 51 strip of the Gokaigers, and I loved every second of it, bro. The entire team dynamic. I love the villains. We'll get to all of this in a second. I'm gonna try to, I haven't watched it in a while, but I have a somewhat photographic memory of how these things went. So I'm gonna try to explain from what I remember. From what I remember. So basically, it starts off like this. They start off the gate, you see warships blowing up buildings, people running for their lives, an army of silver-cladded warriors wielding silver-cladded maces that are projectiles, marching through the streets. They wanted to conquer this earth, they wanted to conquer this planet, but little did they know that this planet was protected. It was protected by the Sentai warriors, all the way from the 70s, from Go Ranger. We had people from Go Ranger all the way up to Jew Ranger, the Mighty Morphin. We even had O Ranger, Go Ranger, Shin Kenja, and Gokaiger, the latest Sentai team was there. And we have our boy, Go Red, in the middle, leading the team. He was leading them, and he led that team. They went into war. We see one of the most magical wars. We see the war so magical that Megaforce could never. They could never. It was just so beautiful, man. You see the Wild Force Rangers leap into the sky. You see the Ninja Storm Ranger with the Kaku Ranger just teaming up together. Car Ranger and Turbo Ranger. And all of the Rangers, they all did the freaking super speed blitz, and everything was happening. And then after a while, the ships came out of nowhere and they just started beaming everything in sight. And it was just too many of them. And the Sentai warriors knew what they had to do. They had to sacrifice their power. They had to pull a Z-Wave, but with their own power. The Sentai warriors pulled a Z-Wave where they sacrificed their powers and they destroyed that fleet of the Zangief Empire. And for a while, Earth was safe. Up until the Zangief decided to spin the block. For you see, the power was not fully destroyed. It was just scattered. It was scattered into these little keys, these action figures, these amazing, and that's just a cool gimmick that they had, bro. Because, Power Rangers is a toy selling franchise, so what better mechanic than to have the Morpher be a toy, be an action figure, a little man, a little guy. It's amazing. So these little guys were scattered throughout the entire universe, and a group of pirates went to go find them, grown by a man known as only Captain Marvelous. We don't know his last name, we don't know his middle name, we don't know if his name is Steve or something. All we know is his name is Captain Marvelous, and he is gangster. And you will love every second of this dripped out monkey D. Luffy. You will love every second of this man, for he is dripped out. Just look at him. Look at that. Look at that white shirt. Look at how well. Look at his black vest. Look at the red jacket, and just the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he dresses. Everything about this man is just drippy. And his team is just Joe Gipkin. My boy got the ponytail on deck with the blue jacket, bro. My boy he's just Zoro from One Piece, just in Gokaiger form, just in Sentai form. They're the same guy. They're literally the same guy. My boy Joe is a demon with those swords, bro. And to be honest, I actually like Noah from Power Rangers Megaforce. I just feel like Noah and Jake's character should have been swapped. Before Jake was the athletic one, and Noah was the nerd, and Noah would probably fit well with Doc. But I guess I don't necessarily mind them making him Joe, because they're making him Joe made Noah's character look better, but them making Doc made Jake's character look worse. But more or less, let's stop talking about Megaforce and let's get back to at hand. So there you go. And now that they've collected most of the Ranger keys, they've collected all of the keys except for the 6 Ranger keys. And let me go over the team real quick. It's Joe, it's Luca Milfi. She's basically a thief. She used to live on this planet that was destroyed by the Zangief Empire and stuff like that. And she basically was poor. She basically had to live with those people, with poor people. She had to provide for them and stuff like that. So now that she's a Ranger, she's just trying her best to get rid of the Zangief Empire so people like that don't have to suffer. Doc is capping that shit. Oh my god, bro. He lied about his whole origin story. He lied. He said he was a great hero and stuff like that. And they pressed him. Like later on, like one of the mayors, he presses him, but we'll get to that if I'm able to get to all the Gokaiger stuff. And then Ahim has the most tragic backstory. For the record, I actually do my own version of Ahim's backstory because Satsuki did attack her planet, but I decided to add Ikaga, Madoka, and the Galactic Crash House there because they are mercenaries and they could also be hired by someone like Satsuki to assist him to attack the planet. So if you want to see my version of what happened to Ahim's storyline, watch episode 2 of Power Rangers Pirate Raid, or just watch the Power Rangers Pirate Raid movie. But more or less, storyline was dark. Her planet got bodied by the Zonkang Empire. This dude named Satsuki, his evil scumbag, he destroyed her entire planet, bro. And she took she found the Ranger key, and she wanted to be a part of the team. But ever since she became part of the team, she's been their saving grace. She's been their gentle hand. She's been the one to stop the 4 of them from killing each other and arguing. Without her, without all 5 of them, the unit doesn't work. Just like in every Power Ranger team, that's what makes them perfect. And in the first episode, they was looking for, like, they came to Earth because Captain Marvel was hungry. Now, he's heavily inspired by Monkey D. Luffy. Captain Marvel doesn't even cosplays as Monkey D. Luffy. But yeah, Ryoto, that's his name, Ryoto Oto. He cosplays as Monkey D. Luffy and he's played Captain Marvel. But yeah, he gets hungry and he wants to eat, and the entire restaurant just going up. Now, Captain Marvel system was about to dip until they seen this monster abusing a bunch of children and a bunch of people. This monster was very angry, and he was looking for the Gokaigers because they had wanted posters just like in One Piece. And it got to a point where Captain Marvel just got mad because his meal was interrupted and his mind was just being disturbed. So they transformed into the Gokaigers. And I must say, this is by far the most trippiest suits I have ever seen in my life, bro. I love the Gokaiger suits more than almost every Power Ranger suit known to man, except for the OGs, because the OGs are just so iconic. I love those. I love the helmets. I love the diamond. I love everything about Mighty Morphin. But aside from the OGs and maybe the Psycho Ranger suits, I love the Gokaiger suits more than any other suit. And maybe Samurai. The Samurai suits are fire, guys. And the Q Ranger, there's just so many good suits in Power Rangers. So many good suits in Power Rangers, bro. There's New Rangers, Lupin. I didn't like the Pat Ranger suits, but I love the Lupin Ranger suits. That's why I made X Machina, a whole group of Lupin Rangers. Lupin Rangers that we didn't even have. We got a pink one here. We got a black one here. We got a green one here. Various different ones. But for the most part, it's just, oh my goodness, it was just amazing. It was amazing. They laid waste. They swapped weapons. Joe and Luca, they are sword users. Joe uses his swords more like Zoro, and Luca, she uses her swords like a whip. And she has an attack known as Fever Pitch. At least that's what it's called in the English version. She just be like, mada, mada, every time she does it. She'll say that I'm not done yet, essentially, in Japanese. But I love when she does that, mada, mada. I love that. Like, nah, son. And him and Doc, they fight completely different. Doc's a coward. So Doc, he throws things at you. He hides behind things. He's trying to stop you from hitting him, but at the same time, he's shooting you the entire time. Like, you would think, like, like you would be losing, you'd be winning this fight, but no, you're getting shot up the entire time. He's doing all this cowardly stuff. It's just hilarious. And what I know in my version I call her Amy because it's just Ahim is it's a lot of talk. It's not a lot of talk. It's just Amy. I like Amy, but she fights with precision. She fights like, honestly, she fights like James Bond, bro. Like, she fights with precision with her guns. She never misses. She honestly, Ahim is bro. If I had this power scale of Gokaigers, it goes like this. Captain Marvelous is at the top. Hell, Captain Marvelous is at the top when it comes to most of the Sentai Warriors and all Power Rangers, to be honest. He's sitting right next to Tommy Oliver, to be honest, guys. Right next to the great Tommy Oliver. Right after him, I would have to give it to Guy. The reason why, because Golden Mode is beast. And we'll get to Ikari Guy when I get to that episode, because I'm going to try to cover all of them. And even if this video is long, this is going to be a long one, guys. Ikari Guy is a beast with that Golden Mode, man. Can't ignore that kind of power. Joe, any man that can wield 5 swords is a talented warrior. So he's definitely number 3. And number 4, honestly, believe it or not, I power scale him slightly over Luca. You would think because Luca is on the main team and it's like Zoro, Luke, you know what I mean? But in my mind, because I'm a One Piece fan, him has been to a combination of Vivi and Robin. And Robin was the scariest one. And not to mention, like, Luca's obviously going to beat you up. But sometimes the quiet ones are the more deadly ones. Him is quiet. Like, I remember the episode with the hurricanes, bro. I guess I'm just going to do this one out of order, guys. I guess that's how I do. I'm going to try to get into the order of things, but when it was the episode with the hurricanes, bro, the hurricanes, they looked at her and they said, hey, yo, like, we're going to take these powers back. Because they gave him the keys back. And him like, yeah, we're going to give you the keys back, but after this mission, you will return those keys to us. And then Hurricane Red looked at her and said, hey, yo, what you going to do if we don't? And him looked at him and said, oh, that's just quite simple. We'll use brute force. I love when characters say that, bro. I love when him and Gina Sheba said that, bro. We'll use brute force. Like, I love it. Because, honestly, that basically, she said, I'm going to beat your ass if you don't give me that motherfucking key, bro. I'm like, me and Doc and Guy, we're gonna beat your ass. Me and my team. All 6 of us are gonna whip that ass. We're pirates. And that's what I love about the Gokaigers. They're pirates first. Yes, they are Sentai Warriors. Yes, they are Power Rangers. Yes, they infuse the power of the Morphin Grid, whatever the Sentai Grid that they have. But more or less, they're pirates. And they rep that shit just as hard as anything. So they transformed into several Rangers in this one. The first one, they did Go Ranger, they did Shinkenger, they did Mountain Ranger. They bested the villain, and then they got to the Megazord. They destroyed him. Now the next episode, they need to find the secret power. So they got this bird that's called Navi. It's this little bird that basically, this bird can predict the future. He's akin to Circuit. That was his name, Circuit. Yeah, he's kind of like Circuit from Time Force. But more or less, he can see the future, but he can't see it clearly. He's kind of like Bongo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where he gets visions of the future, but they're kind of unclear. They don't get a description or something. So they see the man in all black. So they see this student, and he robs one of Captain Marvelous' Ranger keys, and he tries to morph into a Sentai warrior to fight the monster. This monster is so cool. He looks like Vilgax. I actually used this creature as the Cthulhu race. I color swapped him for Ikagen's army in my episode 6 of Power Rangers Altered. But yeah, he reminded me. This creature reminds me of Vilgax. And this monster beat the crap out of this kid. This kid was stupid. He thought he was going to fight this monster. He thought he was going to win. He thought he was going to be successful. He thought he was going to succeed. And none of that happened. Because, like, you weren't chosen for the power, nor did you get it. Honestly, you stole it. And you're not the flawless military. You didn't hack the morphing grid with great plans for the future. No, you just stole it thinking that you're going to protect somebody. More or less. And that monster, he beat up a couple of the putties. I call all foot soldiers are putties, guys. All of them are putties. I understand they have their own names, but they're all putties to me. They beat up some of the putties, but the main monster beat his ass. Vilgax beat his ass. Vilgax was like, "You think you can beat me with that ineffective Shinkinja Morpha? Now perish." I just wanted to do Vilgax voice because I barely do Benting character voices, so I wanted to test my luck on there. How'd you like that one, guys? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, more or less, Vilgax beat his ass, and then they proceeded to beat Vilgax's ass because once they got that power, Captain Marvelous said, "Let me show you how the power of the glorious King Jaden Sheba is really used." And he turned into Jaden Sheba, and they all turned into different Red Rangers, and they eliminated Vilgax before he could even think about grabbing the Omnitrix. So he died. And meanwhile, you have my boy Kai from Mystic Force with his cape just blowing in the wind like, ha ha ha, I see. So, these are the Gokaigers. They're looking for the power, huh? And I'm going to cut that episode short. Long story short, they meet Kai, and that episode is sitting between Doc and Marvelous. Doc needs to do something brave, and Marvelous needs to get the power. He retrieves the power, and then they're able to get Magi Dragon. Their Megazord is now able to form a dragon stomach, kind of looking like Zork from Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. More or less. And it can even transform into a dragon and stuff like that. And now, a couple episodes happen. Now Captain Marvelous gets locked up. He gets arrested by Power Rangers SPD. Deca Ranger. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Wait, that's Go Busters. Whatever. But so freaking, he gets arrested, and Doggy Kruger pulls up to him, and like, I forgot why he got arrested. But the point is, he proves that he's innocent. Actually, he doesn't prove that he's innocent until the last episode. Bam has to show up. The Red Ranger has to show up from Deca Ranger. And he has to free Captain Marvelous. But during that episode, he gains Doggy Kruger's trust, and they are able to procure the Patch Striker. And they are able to basically merge that with their Megazord, and that thing could become its own thing. It's like its own little racer car that shoots. So, now, a couple of more episodes pass by. And now, they have to fight Bizorg, because they're looking for the Shinkinja powers. And Shiva Kodu ends up showing up. But this episode is one of those, because every time I notice Power Rangers and Super Sentai has a pattern. Around episode 10 to 12, they will show one of the main generals, and they will give them a problem. This even happens around episode 1, episode 5, or episode 10 to 12. One of the generals will show up, and the Power Rangers won't win the fight automatically. It happened in the Shinkinja and the Power Ranger Samurai with Fuajuzo and Decker. It also happened in episode 1 with Korag, because the Rangers couldn't really necessarily beat that nigga. And like, it happened like kind of in a little bit in 15 with Darkonda, because they vanquished him, but he kept came back, and the Beryllium Bugs was just a problem. So yeah, around those episodes, an evil general will always show up to cause the Power Rangers some smoke. And we had 2 evil generals around these episode thresholds that put the Rangers through the rhythm. Our first evil general, our first candidate is Bizorg. Yes, boss. He was Joe's minions, and what ended up happening is him and Joe were both soldiers in the Zangek Empire, but Joe was trying to escape because of what they did to his minions. They transformed him into a robot that just follows orders, and like, Joe didn't know like what he was trying to get out of there, but damn, this is what happens when you create your own lore, guys. You get shit confused. And I was getting Joe's lore confused with my story, because in my story, he does in the actual Gokaiger, he gets rescued by Captain Marvelous, and he becomes a part of that team. And he learns out during this episode that his minions got transformed into a cyborg. In my story, he already knew that information, and that's why he left them in the first place. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, that's what happens when you create your own lore. You just get shit confused. So this is why I'm going to have to do a full rewatch. And I'm going to redo this video once I do my full rewatch and give y'all a more thorough representation of the Gokaiger. So there's going to be 2. So yeah. So for the most part, they fought Bizorg, and they got washed the first time. But the second time, they were able to beat them, and then they got the Shinkinja powers. Now, in episode 15, though, we get my boy Bosco, the Joker. And he is by far one of the most ruinous villains ever. He is just as terrible as how I portray Ikage and Madoko to be. But the difference is, it's canon, baby. It's canon. This boy has Ranger keys of all of the Brolic niggas, all the Aki niggas, all the extra Rangers, all the special Rangers. Your Tommies, your Trents, your Zanes, your Dagarons, your Robo Knights, your Lauren Shebas, your freaking Jim and Jimma, Magna Defender, Korag, Udana, Sentinel Knight. He got all of those Ranger keys under his possession, bro. And throughout the series, Bosco does 3 things to Captain Marvelous on the daily basis. He puts Captain Marvelous on his ass, and he steals something from him. That's number 1. He will take something from Captain Marvelous. Something will lose. Or if he didn't steal it from Captain Marvelous, he stole it from somebody else. He stole it before Captain Marvelous could get to it. Like, he stole the Sun Vulcan powers and all of those powers. And, like, you know, he would take something from Captain Marvelous. Like, he took all of the Ranger keys, bro. And then they got them back. He will leave Captain Marvelous on his knees, screaming, Bosco! Constantly, bro. That is what Bosco does, bro. And he does this. He summons the most powerful Rangers to fight. And then, you would think that when he was all out of Ranger keys, that would be over. That would be it. There would be no more problems. He's just some flamboyant human. But if you watch One Piece, and if you know the character that Bosco is kind of portrayed off of based on his appearance, he is clearly a derivative of Don Quixote, the heavenly demon, Doflamingo. And then one thing we know about Don Quixote, heavenly demon, Doflamingo is, he's a demon. And Bosco is a demon. Bosco showed them that he was a demon, bro. He had this weird pirate ship, merged pirate demon looking kaiju form. And the first thing he did was break the Silver Ranger's arm. My boy Ikari Guy was in a casket. Damn, I didn't even do the introduction to the Silver Ranger. I'll get to that next. I'll get to it at some point. But Ikari Guy was in a casket, boy. And then he proceeded to just blitz all of the Rangers, bro. He blitzed them. They all fell to the ground. They all demorphed. And then Bosco proceeded to show them, hey, yo, I swiped this from you guys, by the way. And he just proceeded to cause nothing but problems for them. He stole their own Ranger keys from them. He stole them. They couldn't transform into their Gokaiger force. And some of them, they had to fight themselves. And then Captain Marvelous and Bosco got into an epic clash. A duel of the century. Because Bosco had a monkey, a pet monkey that was with him. And this monkey was eternally loyal to him. He would give this monkey bananas all the time. But this monkey had a host of monsters in his belly that it could summon. He would summon, and that would be the giant kaiju fight for the episode, for a lot of these episodes. So he would summon this giant monster for Rangers the best. And after a while, the monkey ran out of monsters. And Bosco gave him this necklace. And he told it to give it to Captain Marvelous. He just told him to go to Captain Marvelous, go closer to him while holding the necklace. And he exploded the necklace and killed the monkey. Poor Sally. You shall be missed. You are up there with Harambe now. But yeah, he killed that monkey, man. And Captain Marvelous, he remembered that shit. When Captain Marvelous and Bosco got into their final duel, they both shot each other. It was a big duel. Go watch it, guys. But it was a big climactic duel. They both shot each other. And the Gokaigers couldn't believe it. They didn't know what was going on. They were scared. They thought they were going to lose their captain. And they both got up. Bosco was the first to get up, reeking of green, putrid blood, showing his alien heritage. And Captain Marvelous got up after him. And Captain Marvelous went under his jacket and he showed a metallic piece. A piece of the bomb that Sally had that exploded. He used that shit to protect him from the bullet. And Bosco was like, wow, so that's how it is. And then he collapsed to the floor and faded into darkness. Now we'll get to the Silver Ranger and now move on to the Zangek Empire. And just some notable moments in Gokaiger. The Silver Ranger met the team around after they got the extra Ranger keys from Bosco. And Captain Marvelous wanted to test him. Because the Silver Ranger got it because he got hit by a car, but the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and the Quantum Ranger, the White Dino Thunder Ranger, by the way, they all came to him and they all basically spoke to him because they're technically dead in their own respective series. So as Ghost, they went to the Ghost realm and he was able to get this morphin. So he became Gokai Silver and eventually he became part of the team. Now there was this monster that had the power to make people hot. Essentially, he blasted them with some type of smoke, and these niggas was Captain Marvelous, Luca, and Joe, and Ahim, they was just high on that Zod the entire episode. They was just smacked, and they just couldn't do nothing. So they was just high, and Guy and Doc are the only ones able to fight. And Doc was doing some weird shit with his power coins. I'm not the power coins, the Ranger keys. He was doing some weird shit with the Ranger keys, where he was merging shit together because he didn't know whether he wanted to be Hiroto or Mew from Go On. He didn't know whether he wanted to be Jim and Jimma from RPM. He didn't know which one he wanted to be. So the spirits of Hiroto and Mew showed up, and they basically merged the key together. So he had this hybrid Gohan Silver, Gohan Gold form with 2 jet daggers, and he was able to do some cool shit with it. But later on, the monster was fighting Doc, and Doc couldn't beat this nigga by himself. He's Doc. He's the weakest link out of all of them. So God realized that he had to be a real nigga because all the real niggas are high, and Doc's the only one fighting, and Doc's kind of a bitch ass nigga, and Guy knows that he has to be a real ass nigga at this moment. So he talks to all of the spirits of the Rangers, and they gave him they gave him Gokai Silver. Golden Mortal! The most drippiest battleizer ever, bro. My boy is brittled in gold like he was tapped on the shoulder by King Midas. Not only that, he has the helmets of all of the past 6 Rangers etched on his freaking chest, on his armor. It's like they looked at the Green Ranger Tommy design and cranked it up to 11 when they made this design, man. And he blitzed them. Like, he had this Gokai shooting star. He could just throw his trident at you. His trident could become a pistol. And when he was attacking, you could see the spirits of the Rangers just strike the monster. Like, he'd slash him, and then you see Hiroto just go on gold, just slash him. He'd slash him again, and then it's Robo Knight. He'd slash him again, and it's Zane. And he'd just slash him again, and it's Tommy Oliver. And then he has Gokai Legend Dream, bro. This attack, where he summons all of the 6 Rangers to attack you simultaneously. The shooters, we go on gold, silver, Robo Knight, and a couple of them, they're shooters, they're all shooting. But then you just see Tommy, both green and white, Shrink, freaking just mad Rangers, Antonio, MOD Genta from Shinkenja, essentially. They all cut the enemy in half, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment. Later on, they meet the Gohangers, and they get their own Gohan robot, because in Gohanger is different than RPM. Their robots, their Zords can talk, and they're sentient, and they have emotions and stuff. And their souls are in those, like, engine casts. This is called engine soul. So they're in there. So the Gokaigers get their own version of that, and they're able to combine both the Q-Rex, yes, their Zord is called the Q-Rex, why, I don't know, and the Gokai Gallon in order to make the ultimate Gokai Megazord. Eventually, the Zangief Empire stops playing games, because Watchgale ends up dying, and Bizord ends up dying. Joe and Bizord get into a climactic battle, and which was poorly edited in the Megaforce, which I may add, because if you look closely, you can see Joe's ponytail striking when Noah is attacking, and I'm like, really, guys? Jeez. And it was just, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that happened, guys. But for the most part, yeah, now that Watchgale and them are gone, Arceus Gill shows up, and Arceus Gill is pissed because his son is dead. Arceus Gill is like, how dare you do this to my son? What? My precious Prince Bakar bested. Damaris, you will be the one to take the blame for this. And Damaris is like, but sir, I didn't do anything. You will take the blame because my son is dead. So, arrest him immediately. You chewy! You heard what he said? Yep, you're going into the big sale, buddy. I just wanted to voice act those characters because those are the voices that I gave them in my video. Even though I have the AI doing the Arceus Gill's voice, even though I'm either spoken is just fine. Perhaps I might do his voice in the future. I might need to because I do plan on including Bruce Bolton in future episodes of Altered, at least the Game of Thrones ones. Well, all the got characters are included in some sort of way, so having 2 characters that sound the same is going to be a little off-putting. But then again, I had 2 Corones walking around in my last episode. So, more or less, Damaris is sent to fight the Gokaigers, and he's looking at their bounty pictures, and he's all like, okay, their captain, he's a Yonko, I have to kill him. The demon of 3 blades, I have to kill him. Cat Burger, Luca Luffy, gotta kill her. This bitch used to be a princess of a whole fucking place, and she's a good shooter, I have to kill her. Hikari God, this nigga has the power of anime, and he can channel the powers of all the 6 Rangers, and he has to get by. And then he looked at Doc's picture. He crumbled that shit up and threw it in the garbage. She didn't give a fuck about that nigga. And that would be his undoing. That would be his undoing. Because he so-called vanquished the how dare you? Oh my god, such blasphemy. Did y'all hear the that almost came out my mouth? I almost called it Megaforce, guys. Such blasphemy. Oh, please forgive me, please. Zordon, forgive me. Glorious King Captain Marvel, please forgive me. But yeah, guys, he almost eliminated those Gokaigers. But Bosco rescued them because Bosco don't like that nigga Damaris. Because Damaris been talking to him in his ear the entire episode, trying to breathe all over him, telling him what he could do and what he can't do. And Bosco like, nigga, I'm a bounty hunter, bro. I don't fucking listen to you, bro. Fuck wrong with you, my nigga. You know, I don't work for the Zangief Empire. I work for myself. And he betrayed Damaris. And eventually the Gokaigers came back and they all teamed up with Aki. They did a Forever Green special when Damaris was eliminated. Now, Now when it comes to Mr. Zatsui, that's the voice I gave him because I don't know what voice he would have if they gave him a voice. I think they did. He only spoke like a once in Megaforce because they didn't do the episode with him, which sucks. Because Zatsui is literally my favorite villain from freaking Gokaiger besides Bosco. Bro, because he was putting the Rangers through hell when they first met him. And he had, bro, any villain, bro, I swear, anytime they do something with eyes, whether it be an all-powerful eye that could just see everything and he just beams them in, bro, he was wilding. Watch the episode 41 of Gokaiger. My boy Zatsui was putting them through hell till they figured out his trick, and then they dog walked him, and it was beautiful how they dog walked him. Because she teamed up with Luca. No, first off, they teamed up. She went with freaking Joe, and she turned into Decker Swan, and Joe turned into Dougie Kruger and hit him with that Vega Slash. And after that, they turned into Ghost Ages. And bro, she was flying, and the Yellow Ranger was wilding her freaking shovel up, and they smacked them back. And then after that, she teamed up with Doc. She turned into a female Blue Navy Ranger, and Doc turned into Hunter. And they both used the Thunder Blaster, and they blasted them. And bro, this next moment, he turns into the Glorious King, Jay and Shiva, and freaking Glorious Shiva, fucking the Glorious King Takaru, and freaking Kinkoru. And they both beat the door crap out this man with the big ass swords, bro. Them Siegfried size swords. They hit him with that nigga, bro. And then they hit him with the pink charge. Special charge. Rising strike. They got cooked. Got eliminated. There was a Christmas episode where there was some Rafiki, some weird cheeky looking monster that they had to fight. And like, I think there was God combined freaking Red and Green Rangers coins together. I keep saying coins. Because the reason why I keep saying coins is because I'm still in Shattered Grid mode, and Tommy's doing a lot, and Draken does a lot with those power coins, and it's just like, but point is, those Ranger keys, bro, like he uses them to become Gokai Christmas, which is a red and green hybrid. So at this point, because I covered everything now up to this point, now it's up to the final battle, bro. And the final battle did not happen the way it happened in Megaforce. It was a little bit different because they just used the same final battle from the first episode. The first episode final battle happened. This was a different final battle because what ended up happening is the Zangief Empire started to invade. Arceus Gil was like, I'm tired of this shit. Every people of Earth, my name is Arceus Gil. I am the Emperor of the universe. All of you will bend the knee to me, or you will all be destroyed. I just want you to know, you will bring me the Gokaigers within 24 hours, and if you don't, this planet will become a wasteland. He said some shit like that, and essentially the Gokaigers wasn't gonna have that, bro. They all pulled up on him, bro, and the first nigga to catch it was Dyrando. Chewy, I'm going to destroy you, you stupid Sentai. And they turned into Doggy Kruger, Sentinel Knight, Lauren Shiba, and Udana. They turned into those four, and they bodied this nigga. And then Joe got to do his final strike with this time. And I loved it, bro, because like Dyrando trying to blast them while this was going on and stuff like that. And bro, he beat them out of their Ranger forms, bro. So they was human blasting them with the Gokai Gallon Blaster. And then he just got obliterated and turned into fucking space dust. We never heard from that nigga ever again. And then Guy and Marvelous, they take Bosco's ship because Bosco just got bodied 2 episodes ago. So his ship was just lying around. They eat his shit into the main Zangief ship, and they beat the crap out of Arceus Gil. Arceus Gil was holding his own. He was sitting down. He wasn't taking him seriously. But God, he uses his trident. He charges his nigga. He throws that nigga. And then Captain Marvelous fucks up the ship, and they eliminate the entire fleets. The entire fleet got eliminated. 600 men. 600 men with big mouths to feed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm an epic musical fan, but 600 men got eliminated in the sky. They all got eliminated, and then it was clean, bro. And I'm gonna be real, this part was clean in both English and in Jap. This is the only flowers I'm gonna give Megaforce in this whole explanation. Because in Gokaiger, when they landed from the destruction of the ship, Marvelous went as Gosei Red, and then Gosei to the Angel, so you see him with the angel wings. And Guy went into go on Gold Silver mode, and he had the jet daggers, and they was both landed. But in the English version, they turned into Andros and Zane with the Galaxy Gliders! That was fire. That's the only flowers you get, Megaforce. But nah, son, the Arceus Gil pulled up and said, "You think that was the end of it? I'm a fucking Bolton, and I'm going to eliminate every single one of you. I will skin all of you Rangers alive. You will all die by my hands. You've killed my son, even though he was a stupid, ignorant fool. He was my stupid, ignorant fool, and I miss him every day. And that's the whole reason I come to this planet, to eliminate you Rangers. Because you killed my precious baby boy Watts Gil, and he's no longer with us. So I will send you to him. Say hello to my baby boy on the other side." And the Rangers that asked, Luca said, "Shit, baka!" She basically told that nigga, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid ass nigga." And bro, nah, they did their little roll call, and their roll call was great, bro, because you see them without the helmets, and then the helmet went on them and shit, and then they proceeded to went into one Ranger form for each season, bro. They went for one for each season, bro. They had one for space, one for galaxy, Shinkinja, Goanja, everything was just, and then they went to their super forms. Jaden turned into Takeru again. Freaking Joe turned into Noah. Luca turned into Lily from Jungle Fury. Doc turned into Bridge. Freaking I turned into Madison, and Gokai Silver went into his golden mode, and they beat the crap out this nigga, bro. They hit him with the combination, like freaking Marvelous hit him with the snake sword and shit. That shit was crazy, bro. And then after that, my boy Guy came down with the Gokai. That nigga shad twice. Like, why did you shad twice? Like, nah, bro. He wanted to make sure that you hurt this attack, bro. And then, nah, bro. They said they combined their weapon, they combined their attacks. The guy threw the trident, and then they all swiped their blades together, bro. And then they met up with the trident in mid-air, and then they smacked Arceus' skill. And then upon smacking him, the blade turned into 5 separate blades with the colors of the Gokaiger, and then smacked him. And bro, and then Arceus' skill beat them. You're not done yet, push. And bro, my boy guy came, he from the sky. Ha! It's over for you, Rose Belton. Take that. No, this can't be. The Sentai Rangers send their regards. No! Eliminated that nigga. My boy Guy, he pulled the trigger. Marvelous, his whole team was behind him, bro. It was the whole team, whole squad was fired up, bro. He made sure that this nigga was never going to see a light of day, and he will never be alive to plot another wedding again. He's just gone. And it was just beautiful. And after that, bro, they gave up the power, bro. They gave the powers back that they used after they destroyed the Zangek Empire. There was a meeting with some kids like, oh my god, it's the Power Rangers, it's the Gokaigers. Niggas like, well, these Sentai warriors, they're heroes. And Luca like, fuck you mean, we ain't no heroes? Marvel's like, yeah, we just pirates. And then they're like, and they left them a little bit, hanging a little bit. But then Marvelous, he puts his hand up in the air. He puts his hand up in the air, signaling that, yeah, nigga, I know we heroes, we heard y'all, but we gotta, you know, kayfabe, bro. We gotta stay in kayfabe, man. Like, I'm sorry, it's kayfabe, bro. It's like it's kayfabe. We gotta stay in kayfabe, bro. Straight up. So after that, they gave up the power, and it was just, after that, you see the end credits, and you see various Sentai Rangers getting their powers back, and they're all happy. And the last one, they close it up, and I'm glad this dude is still with us, bro. And the dude that played the very first Red Ranger, the very first Red Sentai Warrior, the very first, well, not the first Warrior in Spanish, because the first one was technically Kamen Rider. In fact, Super Sentai is a derivative of Kamen Rider. So they looked at Kamen Rider and said, what happened if we made this guy 5 times? So, the very first Sentai Warrior, he was there, bro, and he was just like, yo, thank you so much, Gokaigers. And then they close it up. And then after that, the episode closed, you see Captain Marvelous in, and you see my boy Devin Daniels, or the Red Go Buster Ranger, and he dabbed him up, because he's the next season that's going to happen with Go Busters. Now, guys, Gokaiger was just an amazing phenomenon. There's not another series of Power Rangers that can do it better than these guys, bro. There's not another series of Sentai that can do it better, in my opinion. It is the best, by far. I'm a multiverse freak, guys. I love anything with crossovers and timelines, and different universes, different characters, meeting up with different characters. Just so long, if this character is from A and this character is from B, and they're talking now, I love that. And that's what Gokaiger encapsulated. Because it helped introduce me and appreciate the Sentai. Because I was starting to get into Sentai with Goanja, with Shinkinja, with Goseiger, and even looking back at Mega Ranger and Chudanger and Gigaman. But Gokaiger made me appreciate it and made me fall in love. And it spoiled me. It spoiled me. It was so magical and so amazing that anything else that I saw after that was just, besides Shattered Grid comic books, besides the Boom Studios comic books, and any other fan projects made by other people, because I honestly feel like the fans put the most work into it, and some of these projects are amazing, like Bloodline of the Grid. There's another Power Ranger Star Force made by some Spanish people, and these projects are amazing, bro. But besides that, everything else has just been Besides, of course, when it comes to Power Rangers, but for Sentai, Tokiyuja was just as amazing as Gokaiger, in my opinion. It was a little bit different. The Red Ranger hadn't had the same level of Black Info Energy, but the way I look at it is they were children. They were children that transformed into adults and shit like that. And I like the Tokiyujas for what they were. My favorite is the Pink Ranger, because she could just say some shit and then automatically she's just strong. She's just capable of, she literally bigs herself up to do something, and then she's just able to do it. It's like she gives herself this little pep talk. And I love that. And I love the villains. That's where Void Queen came from. And they should have kept Void Queen in Cosmic Fury. They should have kept it there, but I digress. But nah, son, I love that. Zuyoja, I love that season too. I gotta rewatch that one because the Gokaigers come back in that one too, and they gotta fight a host of various Sentai villains in a all-white Arceus skill. Now, I have my own variant of all-white Arceus skill in the Coinless universe. Mine is different. Their version is white and red. Mine is white and blue. So, yeah, essentially, but yeah, after that, Q Ranger, we already know how I feel about Q Ranger. We talk about Q Ranger on this channel. We talk about Lucky, we talk about Champ, we talk about Raptor, we talk about Hami and Garo and Show Longbow the Ho-Oh Soldier, all of them dudes. And we especially talking about Gokaiger and Madoka. Go guys, look at the little icons on my channel. They're literally my icons for my channel. I love those characters. Honestly, bro. Honestly, when it comes to Sentai, my top 5, I'm gonna have to give it to Gokaiger, Q-Ranger, Tokiyuja, Go-Ranger, and Shinkenger. Straight up. And if I had to include some of the older ones, I'm gonna have to throw Judanger, Gingaman, Hurricaneja, Mega Ranger, and freaking and Maji. I actually like Maji Ranger, believe it or not. Even though they did follow like the Sims, I don't like the rules for the 10 terrorists and stuff like that. I never did, but it is what it is. The Power Rangers, guys, we love it here, bro. And I just wanted to just show my love for Gokaiger and just the glorious magical series that just saved my love for this franchise, bro. It saved it. It saved it permanently. I will never leave this franchise. I don't care what comes out that I don't like. I will stay here, kicking and screaming all the while, but I will still be here. And that's because of Gokaiger. That's because of In Space. That's because of Mighty Morphin. That's because of Boom Studios. Hell, that's because of Flawless Military. That's because of Shattered Grid Readers. That's because of Shattered Grid. That's because of Bloodline of the Grid. That's because of Power Rangers Unworthy. That's because of Star Force. That's because of everything that Power Rangers has to offer. That's because of Q-Ranger and Tokiyuja and Mega Ranger and Judanger and O-Ranger and Car Ranger and all of that, bro. That's because of Kamen Rider Flores and Kamen Rider Decay and Kamen Rider Zeo and Kamen Rider Saber and Kamen Rider X-Aid. All of that, bro. I love all of that stuff. And Wizard, Kamen Rider Wizard, all of that saved my interest for this franchise. It did. I love Power Rangers. I do, and I even like, to some degree, some of the Hasbro stuff. Like I keep saying, I love Dino Fury up until we get to Cosmic Fury on the tip of the villains. Because, like I said, if I have to separate Cosmic Fury into a villain storyline and hero storyline, the heroes have a great storyline. The villains made me want to throw up. But yeah, bro, it's just for the most part, I love Power Rangers, bro. Even the parts I don't like, I don't care, because there's shit that I don't like about everything. You're never gonna like everything in its entirety. There's always gonna be something you don't like. Fuck, I didn't like season 5 of Game of Thrones. Y'all had my nigga Littlefinger out here doing dumb shit, like selling sons of the Ramsay protein. He would never do that shit in the books. Like, literally, he's still in the veil in the books. Like, yeah, he's probably gonna get caught lacking by Sansa anyway, but it'll happen differently. So yeah, there's things I don't even like there. Or with Kingdom Hearts, like, I wanted most of the Xehanorts to be characters that we didn't fight before, because at the end of Dream Drop Distance, they were all hooded. And, like, I thought we were getting new characters, and we just got Larxene, Luxor, Marluxia, Vanitas, and all the other characters that we already seen before. And I wanted new Xehanorts, because what I thought they were doing since they were doing Time Trap, I thought it was different eras of Xehanort. I thought maybe there was an even younger young Xehanort, or maybe there was like Xehanort with a widow's peak or something like that. Maybe Xehanort that looked a little like Tywin in the hair a little bit, or like, you know, like Teenage Crash Album. I mean, I guess, but I guess they tried, but it was different. I thought they were going to go through age ranges. They just went through separate entities, like his Heartless, his Nobody, his possessed self, his younger self, and his older self, and then all the other people that he had in the organization that he just let his heart inside. I wanted newer characters, man. But hey, we don't always get what we want, man. And that's okay, because we can always create what we want, bro. That's why, you know, that's why multiverse exists. That's why fan projects exist. That's why fan fiction exists. If we don't have what we want, we can always make it, guys. And honestly, I just wanted to share my love for Gokaiger. And have a marvelous day, guys. Okay, just wanted to make this clear for people who probably got to the end of this video. Yeah, a lot of people are often confused about my Power Rangers Altered. Y'all see Game of Thrones characters, and I probably see Tommy. I probably asking questions like, what's this, or why is this happening this way? The point is, if you weren't here from day one, and if you haven't seen the first episodes, you're going to be lost. Plain and simple. You're going to be lost. You have to watch the Flawless Military movies and the Power Rangers Altered to understand the storyline, so you don't sit there looking dumbfounded and baffled, wondering why Tommy's talking to Aemon Targaryen and why there's 3 big titty goddesses running around. It's because it's part of the story. So if for people that's commenting and confused and saying, oh, this wouldn't happen in Power Rangers, I know it wouldn't happen in Power Rangers. That's what this channel is about, creating Power Ranger content that wouldn't happen in Power Rangers, and some that would happen in Power Rangers. So yeah, I just wanted to make that incredibly clear at the end of this video. So like I said, if you like what I do, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a marvelous day.